who is going to present on the cult of Bhima. Uh, BCAK Nayar uh, this is a very interesting topic. In the morning, I was mentioning that I myself was not aware of any cult around Bhima, though as a person deeply associated with Madhva neighborhoods, Madhva friends, and having a very intricate knowledge of Madhva Vedanta, I knew the significance of Bhima in Madhva Vedanta and Madhva perspective of Jivottama being born as Vayu and Vayu Jivottama being the Mukhya Prana and having forms of Hanuman, Bhima, and Madhva. All these are well known, but a cult of Bhima was not known even to me, in spite of all my long association with all these things. And I found your abstract to be really very interesting. Uh, and this information that there is a Bhima Bhairava in Nepal also is very interesting. BCAK Nayarji is initiated into Madhva uh, tradition, and as a scholar also he is a very interesting case. Uh, when Madhva is mentioned, we usually imagine a Brahmin Madhva scholar. Uh, and most of the Madhva scholars that come onto the stage and present are from Brahmin families with uh, Vedic training, Shastric training, and all that. But very rarely we do come across a scholar so erudite, so deeply knowledgeable, and so deeply practicing, and so deeply initiated into Madhva tradition, uh, being a Nayar. And this is a very interesting case. And he has been very active in our seminars, symposiums, and conferences. Every time he comes up with a really interesting topic, uh, never imagined by general scholars to be possible to become a topic. And even this time, he has come up with a wonderful new topic. Uh, Over to you, BCAK Nayarji. Once again, looking forward to a wonderful presentation from you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the kind words. So, good evening, everybody. I once again thank India for this wonderful opportunity. Today, I would like to speak a few words on the cult of Bhimasena from Karnataka to Kathmandu. So, what is there in Karnataka is basically the cult that has built around the Madhva belief. You see, one of the basic tenets of Madhva Siddhanta is Madhvacharya is an avatar of Mukhya Prana, like Sri Hanuman and Sri Bhimasena.The. So, Pratamo Hanuman is the sloka. So, in the as an avatar of Hanuman, Mukhya Prana did seva to Sri Ramachandra. Then, as Bhimasena.The, he did seva to Sri Krishna. As Madhvacharya, he did seva to Vedavyasa, Narayana. So, this is what the belief is. And there is a cult of Bhimasena.The due to this reason in Karnataka and in what to say districts of Tamil Nadu and Kerala that adjoin or border with Karnataka. Let us look into them very quickly and in a crisp way. Could you please? Okay. So actually, when you talk about the cult of worship of characters from Mahabharata, I would like to bring to your notice that there is a cult of Pancha Pandava and Draupadi. So there have been a couple of what to say presentations based on that, especially from Tamil Nadu, especially among Vanya community. We have the worship of Pancha Pandavas and Draupadi. So it is interconnected with the Jadi Purana. They believe, like Draupadi, the Vanyas, they believe that Vahni, they were also originated from fire, and the sacred uh, belief revolving around the Vani tree is also there. So that is a very well-researched area of Panjamandava and Draupadi. We need to analyze certain things in a polemical way, but that is a well-documented and researched area. Then there are lesser-known cults such that of Barbariga. Barbariga is the son of Gadoutkaja, grandson of Bhimasena.The. So Barbariga is worshipped in certain parts of northern India, especially as Khatu Sham and whatnot. I think the cult of Barbariga is in and around Rajasthan. So there are mantras, there are temples, and all those things. But cult of Barbariga is something which has not been investigated or researched in detail. Likewise, we have a number of living traditions in and around the Mahabharata, especially when it comes to worship of the characters of Mahabharata. Today, what we are going to do is we are going to focus on the cult of Bhimasena.The. Sir, next slide, please. Okay. So, Bhimasena and Karnataka, especially in Madhva Sampradaya, as I told you, there is a very active worship of Bhimasena.The. Madhvas worship Mukhya Prana in his original form and in three other forms as Sri Hanuman, which is very common because the Veera Hanuman temples, most of the Veera Hanuman temples have been established and worshipped by Madhvas. Then as Madhvacharya, which is also very common. You could have seen idols of Madhvacharya in Madhva Puja Pettiges and even in Vidyapidams and all those places. Then they also do worship as Bhimasena. For example, this is a picture of Bala Bhimasena Devaru, which is worshipped by Madhvas according to the Madhva tradition. So actually, Madhvacharya has written Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya, which is one good guide to the Mahabharata. So in that way, Madhvacharya is, what to say, unique. Unlike Shankara and Ramanuja, Madhvacharya focused much on Purana also and on Itihasa, especially on Mahabharata. So he has written an exhaustive, what to say, guide book to Mahabharata. I will not say it is a commentary, but I will say that it is a Nirnaya Grantha, a text which tries to solve the problems or solve the conflicts whenever that things come up. So according to Madhvacharya, the hero of Mahabharata is Sri Krishna, of course, and after Sri Krishna and Vedavyasa, then comes Bhimasena.The. So among the Pandava, the proximity or the priority is to Bhimasena.The. And he is considered to be the most Bhagavata, since he is the avatar of one of the Parashukla Traya, Mukhya Prana.The. And the narration, entire narration is made with Bhimasena.The. as the center point. And see, it is said Arjuna had his own doubts when Sri Krishna asked him to participate in the Kurukshetra Yuddha. But when Krishna asked Bhimasena to do away with Duryodhana and Dushasana in a particular way during the war, Bhimasena.The. never thought twice. So that is the difference between Bhagavata and non-Bhagavata, like it gives, because Bhimasena had no doubt. For him, Dharma was what Sri Krishna says. It is as simple as that. Likewise, throughout the text, so who kills the arch nemesis, who puts an end to the, what to say, the troubles faced by Draupadi, who ensures that Draupadi's Shabata is being carried out. All these questions are raised by Madhvacharya, and the answer is obviously Bhimasena.The. And there is a tradition of worshipping Bhimasena.The. among Madhvas. Next slide, please, sir. See, he is celebrated not just in Mahabharata, but even in Harivayustuti, which is a very vibrant stotra, hymn that is chanted by devout Madhvas on a daily basis. So there is a Laghuvayustuti, and this sloha, I believe, is by Madhvacharya himself. Bhimasena Samo Nasti. It goes on like there is no one equal to Bhimasena, may it be in the physical prowess or may it be in the Panditya or the mental prowess, or may it be in the Bhakti. Whatever it is, Bhimasena comes first. And among Madhvas, there is a practice of doing japa of Bhimasena mantra. When they do nyasa of this Harivayustuti, they make use of three mantras. Mantras of Sri Hanuman, mantra of Bhimasena.The. and mantra of Madhvacharya. And the mantra of Bhimasena.The. is some 6-lettered or 7-lettered, and they do it as a part of Nyasa, and text like, what to say, text, certain texts that deal with Mantra Shastra of Madhvas, they give a separate Japa Vitana of this Bhimasena.The. mantra. Next slide, please. So another thing that Madhvas regularly chant is Dwadasa Nama as a part of Laghu Vayustuti or simple Vayustuti. So these 12 namas are there. Mardi, he is Mardi, son of Marut or Wind. He is born among Pandavas. He is Bhimasena, he is Vrugotara, who has a stomach of a wolf. He is the son of Kundi, and it goes on like that. So these are the 12 names of Bhimasena. Actually, this Dvadasanama Parayana is there for many deities. It is there for Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, Narasimhadevaru, Rudradevaru, and whatnot. So, in Mukhya Purana, I mean, the Dvadasanama of Hanuman is very popular, but the Dvadasanama of Bhimasena is something that is followed or that is chanted by Madhvas. So, as the Varashruti says, it is for Ayur, Arogya, and Sampat, and everything. So, see, there is a very interesting thing. As far as I know, only two characters from Mahabharata have their own Dvadasanama that is being chanted by the general Hindu population, or at least a set of Hindus. One is Arjuna. You see, that Dvadasanama of Arjuna is the stotra that usually people recommend chanting when someone hears what to say, a sudden thunder or something like that, loud noise or something like that. It is supposed to do away with your fear. Then there is this Dvadasanama of Bhimasena, which is, of course, exclusively chanted by Madhvas. Arjuna Dvadasanama, it is chanted by across Sampradayas. Bhimasena Dvadasanama, it is chanted by Madhvas. So, this is a part of Lagu Ayustuti, which is also a stotra, which is almost chanted each and every day. Next one, please, sir. And another interesting aspect is that Bhimasena Devaru is invoked during the Salagrama Puja by at least one set of Madhvas. There are different Bhattadis or methodologies to do Salagrama Puja within Madhvas itself. So one of the methodologies, it prescribes invocation of Bhimasena Devaru before touching Salagrama. See, Salagrama is considered to be the Samvyakta Rupa of Sriman Narayana. So, Sri Hari is supposed to be ever present in Salagrama. So, Salagrama, we source it from Kantaki Nadi. Once again, what to say, a river that is glorified in Vaishnava Puranas. And this Salagrama is very devotedly worshipped by Vaishnavas across Sampradayas. May it be Sri Vaishnavas, may it be Gaudiyas, may it be Madhvas, all of them have very much reverence and respect to Salagrama, and they are very much devoted to worship of Salagrama. Even in the case of Samarthas, one deity or one representation of a deity in their Panchayatana Puja is Salagrama. So, among a set of Madhva, there is a belief that Salagrama, the Vishnu Chaitanya is always there in Salagrama, but this Salagrama is engulfed by Kali Purusha. See, Salagrama is considered to be an article which has permanent presence of Sri Hari. That means that wherever the place there is a Salagrama, it should be like a temple of Sri Hari. But however, very evidently we see Salagrama being sold, Salagrama being bought, it being turned into a collector's item, and even in places where Salagrama, there is at times there is a lack of divinity. All these things are there. So there is this technical question: why such an article which has 100%, which has not 100%, which has a permanent divinity of Sri Hari in it, is unable to bring auspiciousness everywhere? The answer is in this sloka. See, according to the belief of Madhvas, even though the Salagrama has the divinity of Sri Hari, since this being Kali Yuga, the Kali Purusha, what he does is he engulfs or he puts a sort of an Yavanika, a curtain around the Salagrama to ensure that people do not get the blessings of Salagrama Devaru very easily. So that's why at least a set of Madhvas, before touching the Salagramas for Nirmaliya Puja in the morning, what they do is they open their Puja Shamputa and they invoke Bhimasena Deva. Salagrama Silayam Tu, the sloka goes like. So the Kali Purusha is engulfing or is around the Salagrama Sila. So let Bhimasena Deva, Bhimasena Mahabaho, the most powerful bearers and ever victorious Bhimasena Deva, let him come and let him let him do a uchatana of it, let him drive away the Kali Purusha. The very presence or invocation of Bhimasena Deva is supposed to be very effective for Kali Ucharana, driving away Kali Purusha. So this is a very integral part. Without, for a set of mAdhvas, without this invocation of Bhimasena Devaru, they cannot do Salagrama Puja. They cannot touch Salagrama there. So this aspect is also there. Next one, please, sir. Now we will move to how to say worship of Bhimasena Devaru in Kathmandu or in Nepal. So still now we saw the case of Karnataka, especially among mAdhvas. Now we will go into it. Regarding the worship of Bhimasena Devaru in Nepal, apart from traditional knowledge and apart from knowledge that I get to interactions, I rely on two academic papers. One is a very short paper, but what to say, a pioneering paper by Jagadish Chandra Rikmi, Cult of Bhimasena. And the other one is Gudran Buhanman's Bhimasena as Bhairava in Nepal. These are the two papers from which I have taken my primary resources. I'm not aligning with the opinion of the authors everywhere, but when it comes to the fact or record of fact or quotations of the text, I am very much indebted to the authors of these two papers. So in Nepal, Bhimasena Devaru is very predominantly worshipped by the Nayar community, which is sort of native community of Nepal and who are engaged much in trade right now. And another interesting thing is like many other Hindu deities, Bhimasena Devaru is also worshipped by both Hindus and Buddhists in Nepal. Next slide, please, sir. So what are the forms of Bhimasena Devaru? See, there are Sanidhis or there are Padishtas of Bhimasena Devaru. There are individual temples. And like we have Mahaganapati or like we have Veera Hanuman in the south here and there as a independent Sanidhi, we have figures of figurines of Bhimasena Devaru placed in street corners, near temples and within shops and everywhere in Nepal. So what are the forms? Accordingly, there are some 5 forms of Bhimasena Devaru that are worshipped in Nepal. First is the solitary figure. In solitary figure, the Bhimasena Devaru looks like the Veera Hanuman of, what to say, Madhva origin. You know, Vyasaraja Hanuman, Veera Hanuman, the Hanuman who raises his right hand and with the Saugandhika Pushpa in his left hand. That form is very common. Astashila is very much seen in throughout Karnataka. In every nook and corner of Karnataka, you can see that Veera Hanuman. Even in, what to say, places, many villages and Agraharas in Tamil Nadu, you can see that Veera Hanuman. And here, most of the solitary figures are like that. Because Saugandhika Pushpa, it is more suitable to Bhimasena Devaru also. So instead of the Vanara Muha, Manushya Muha is given. And that form is there. Then in some places, he is there along with Draupadi. With this is a Sapatni Rupa. So Bhimasena Devaru along with Draupadi. Then in certain places, he is along with Draupadi and his brothers. So Bhimasena Devaru is there. He is in the he is given the prominent position, and right beside him there is his Patni Draupadi. Then around him are his brothers. See, this is comparable with the form of Dharmaraja in Tamil Nadu, what to say, worshipped in Tamil Nadu, Dharmaraja, Draupadi, and the brothers. So here there is, instead of Dharmaraja, the central position is taken by Bhimasena Devaru along with Draupadi, and all his 4 brothers are on his sides. So, and beyond this, there is a Tantrik form named Bhima Bhairava, where he is flanked by Ganesha and Kumara. So, Bhimasena Devaru in the form of, it is almost a ferocious form. Bhima Bhairava doesn't mean that he is a Bhairava, but what to say, that suffix is used to denote 2 very ferocious Tantric forms. And beyond this, he is worshipped as a guardian deity for the direction of west along with Kubera in certain temples of Shiva. So these are the 5 forms of Bhimasena Devaru that are very commonly seen in Nepal. Next slide, please. So basically, there are 2 texts which are recorded by the authors that talk about cult of Bhimasena. One is Bhimasena Kalpa of Rudrayamala, and another is Bhimasena Dharani. And see, Rudrayamala is a very interesting Tantric text. I don't know whether we can compare any other text with this in terms of exhaustive coverage of deities, stotras, and all those things. May it be Mantra Maharnava, or may it be Mantra Mahodadi, or may it be, what to say, certain other texts from Orissa or another part, none of them match with the encyclopedic, what to say, aspect of Rudrayama. Rudrayama is that exhaustive. And Rudrayamala, I believe, is yet to be published in its complete form. And as far as I know, in the South Indian resources, I haven't seen this Bhimasena Kalpa. See, I have, what to say, seen the printed versions of Rudrayamala, and I have heard of one complete version of Rudrayamala being published in Telugu script some 100 years back. And I have gone through, what to say, the contents of uh, published and unpublished manuscripts of Rudrayamala, but I haven't seen this Bhimasena Kalpa. This Bhimasena Kalpa is supposed to have the Mula Mantra, Mala Mantra, Ashtotra, Kavacha, and even what to say, Sahasranama of Bhimasena Devaru. So it is almost like any other Panchanga within the text. So everything, the armor, the Sahasranama, everything is there. So, but unfortunately, we are unable to locate a copy of this Bhimasena Kalpa. Both of the authors whom I quote, they quoted, and the first author has said that he has even a copy of Sasanama. For other researchers, especially researchers who are interested in manuscriptology, should try to locate it. And another thing is Bhimasena Dharani, which is comparatively of a later origin. Bhimasena Dharani has very strong influences of Buddhism also. These are the two texts that describe the worship of, or that are used for the worship of Bhimasena Devaru in Nepal. Next one, please. So, Bhimasena Dharani gives various forms. This is one very simple form. And here, what to say, he has his glove, Gadaida mace in his one hand, and he is blessing with a specific mudra. And according to his Kshatriya Lakshana, he is given mustak. And this form is very commonly found in many places in and around Kathmandu and in, even in villages in Nepal. So this is a very basic form which is commonly seen. Next one. See, I wanted to compare this or give this with a parallel in what to say, South. Actually, you are talking about Bhimasena Devaru, another form where he slays Duchajana and Duryodhana and Duchajana. And this is actually the picture which you see now. I'm very sorry because I couldn't get picture with how to say very good quality. And once again, the software that I use that shrinks everything down, so unable to edit it. So this is once again a form of Bhimasena Devaru, Veera Bhimasena Devaru. He holds his glove in a position ready to strike. He has Sauhantika Pushpa, and his face is that of Manusha Mukha. This is in Vijayanagara. I just want to bring in a parallel, and he looks also as if almost similar to that of Veera Hanuman. Next one, sir. And this is an image of the slayer of Duryodhana, Bhimasena Devaru, in the slayer as a slayer of Duryodhana in Nepal palace. See, once again, his one arm is ready to strike with mace, and he has pushed down. And how to say, the slaying is almost taking place. There, next one, sir. This is Bhimasena Devaru with Draupadi in a village shrine in Nepal. See, like Shasta, like Subramanya, or many other deities, this form is there. See, Bhimasena Devaru is predominance is showed by the height of his vigraha. His vigraha is tallest down. He sits down in a posture that is similar to that of Shasta in south. He has his mace, his ayuda on his one hand, and nearby his Patni Draupadi Devi is there. And along two sides, there are other Patishtas, maybe possibly of that of Arjuna and what to say, Yudhishthira. This is another form, Sapatni Bhimasena Devaru, along with his wife Draupadi Devi. This form is there. Next one. See, I wanted to give a, what to say, further close thing. So here it is given. And it seems that even one deity who is nearby is another form of Bhimasena. I don't know, but he is a benign. This is a very benign form, unlike the Ugra form where he slays Duryodhana and Dushasana. He is blessing the devotees and he is along with his Patni. And this form is very commonly worshipped in many villages in Nepal. It is said. Next one, sir. This is a very rare Tantrik pencil sketch. We'd have heard of Panchamukha Pranadevaru or Panchamukha Hanuman, five-faced Hanuman. Here, instead, it is, what to say, five-faced Bhimasena Devaru. He is there at five-faced. And this is a Tantric form. As far as I know, there are no pradishtas or temples. If you look into it, the aksharas are written and predominantly the puja is done as a part of prayoga, it seems. This is Panchamukha Bhimasena Devaru or Panchavatana Bhimasena Devaru. So, predominantly found among Tantric practitioners of Nepal. Next one, sir. See, at this point, I have to caution you something. Most of the extracts that we are seeing are from Tantric texts, which are very vibrant or which are accustomed or acclimatized to Nepal. And there will be these regional influences. So, in most of these texts, unlike the Vaishnava tradition in South, there may be certain elements that have very strong left hand or Vamachara or Kaulachara influences. We should be always, what to say, very careful customer, discerning customer of such texts when it comes to adaptation or research. So this element we should always keep in our mind. We shouldn't very like Western Indo-Europeans, we shouldn't go for a doxography. Okay. So here I would, as a part of this lecture series, I would like to bring to your notice two controversies that were created regarding the cult of Bhimasena Devaru. One is by Ronan Morillo. The paper is entitled Bhima Vihodara Pome O Animal. So Bhimasena Devaru is called as Vihodara, one who has a stomach of a wolf. That means that he is capable of eating a large quantity of food, and even then he will not have a Lamba Uttara. That is the idea here. But Ronan Morillo, he actually what this Indologist tried to do is he tried to connect Bhimasena Devaru with very primordial things, and he said that the behavior of Bhimasena Devaru is similar to that of animals. And among the Pancha Pandavas, he is someone who is very close with animal-like tendencies, and he is a representative of undeveloped human intellect and all those things. And there is another controversy created by another Indologist, David Gitomer. He brought in this Rakshasa theory. He said that Bhimasena Devaru among Pancha Pandavas, he is similar to that of a Rakshasa because of his behavior. He has married among tribal people, and see, that is the Indological view, not our view. For us, the tribal people are the Adi Vaidihas, or what to say, primary Hindus. But his idea is like that. He says that marriage of Bhimasena Devaru with Hidimpi and such things show that he has that element of Rakshasatva, demonic thing is there. And another thing these people say is that, see, the act of Bhimasena Devaru killing and drinking the blood of Duryodhana and Dushasana once again shows or reflects the Rakshasa Subhava of Bhimasena Devaru. And actually, we need not give a very, what to say, we not start a polemical debate, as a very good, commendable explanation has been given by Buhanman. So Buhanman says that, see, that is a very simplistic and, what to say, unimaginative way of looking at things. He says that killing Samhara is very much there in Hindu Purana, and what to say, it is not demonic by itself. See, when you go into Narasimha or when you talk about Kalika Devi, everywhere this act of, or this leela of drinking blood has been said. So that is not enough to say that there are Rakshasa elements in Bhimasena.The. And similarly, he points out that in the case of Pancha Pandavas, may it be Arjuna, may it be Bhimasena.The, they have what to say, marital relationship with Manushas. If you come to South, you can see how Arjuna married a girl from what to say, the Serpentine clan and whatnot. So all these issues, all these elements are there. So very clearly, Berman says that the ideas of Ronan Moriu and David Gitomer is not very effective, and they have this Western Occidental Indological limitation. That's what I would say. And at this point, I have to say that Madhvacharya's foresight is always there. In Mahabharata, Tatparya, Nirnaya, when it comes to the killing of Duryodhana and Duchadana, Madhvacharya says that Bhimasena.The invoked Narasimha.Devaru. And the act was similar to that of Narasimha.Devaru slaying the demon. And he even says, or he even gives references to two Vedic hymns that were chanted during Bhimasena, during the Samhara. One is Manushikta, and I forgot the name of another one. And he also says that Bhimasena.Devaru did not drink the blood of the Duryodhana, Dushadana. He just pretended as he did. And he equates that with the act of Narasimha.Deva. Narasimha.Deva, similarly, he did not drink the blood. It was actually a pretension and act to show that as if he has drunk the blood. So I personally, I appreciate the foresight of Madhvacharya, because he would have guessed that if this act is not, a Nirnaya is not done on this act, then someone might equate the action of Bhimasena with that of a Rakshasa. Next one, please. In modern imagination, we have M.T. Vasudevan and Nayar. M.T. Vasudevan Nayar is a modern Malayalam writer, celebrated Malayalam writer, and he has written Rendam Uzham. Rendam Uzham is his attempt to retell entire Mahabharata from the point of view of Bhimasena Devaru, or what to say, considering the Bhima as the person who has been wronged. So Rendam Uzham is the second narration, or the second action, second coming. All those translations are possible for Rendam Uzham. And like with any modern literature, that Rendam Uzham has its own limitations, in the sense that it tends to humanize divine characters, number one, and it tends to meddle with psychoanalytic theory, this and that, and everything. It may be a good narration, but for a Hindu, it is of no value. And other thing is that the idea of Bhimasena, or the cult of Bhimasena as a character is vibrant, very vibrant, even among children. See, one example is this cartoon series Chota Bheem. Chota Bheem is not the what to say, story of Little Bheem, but however, the choice of the term Bheem, that is very important to signify what to say, strength and valor and all those things. And the name of the place is Dholakpur, because the headquarters of the cult of Bhimasena.Devaru in Nepal has a very similar sounding town. That place has a very, what to say, the name of that place in Nepal is also almost similar to Dholakpur, because they are very similar sounding names. So that is how the, what to say, the cult of Bhima, or the valor of Bhima is being even taken forward to children, which is indispensable, because a character like Bhimasena.Devaru cannot be ignored, cannot be forgotten, and whether it is religious or not, you would somehow remember him. Next one. See, what are the scope for further research? See, I would say that there is always a necessity to see whether there was a pan-Indian cult of Bhimasena, because we see there are similarities between the worship, the forms of Bhimasena in Karnataka and in Nepal. It is told that there is a Bhimasena Kalpa and Rudrayamala. Rudrayamala is very much available in South also. And Rudrayamala has very heavily borrowed from Pancharatna literature and other Vaishnava Tantrik literature when it comes to the Vaishnava Kalpas. So even now, I believe the complete version of Rudrayamala is available only in the Andhra Desha. And if this Bhimasena Kalpa is supposed to be a part of Rudrayamala, then there is a connection between the south and north in this aspect. And similarly, Madhvas invoke, they do not invoke Hanuman, Veera Hanuman or Madhvacharya to dispel this Upadrava, what to say, the trouble by Kali Purusha, but for Kali Uchadana, they invoke Bhimasena. And especially in Salagrama Puja. Salagrama is available in Nepal. Kandaki Nadi is there in Nepal. And once again, the worship of Bhimasena is there also. So, are there any very invisible, very subtle connections of things going from south to north? So, that element is something which we have to look into it. And what was it the reason why Madhvacharya put forward is this idea of the prominence of Bhimasena in his text? Because most of the modern thinkers believe that considering Bhimasena as the hero of Mahabharata is one innovation or one appropriation done by Madhvacharya, since due to the Mukhya Prana Vayu connection. But looking into the presence of the cult in Karnataka and Kathmandu, this question comes to our mind: whether there was a very similar existing connection before Mahabharata, Tatparya, Nirnaya. For believers in Madhvashastra, there is always eternal connection, eternal texts are there. But even for modern researchers, they can look into this idea. And the second thing is, we need to restore the texts that speak about, be it the Bhimasena Kalpa or be it the text with certain Buddhist influence. We need to restore that text, and those texts should be studied to further understand the elements of Bhimasena. And one element which I want to say is that Bhima Bhairava is the term that is used in Nepal. There is nothing strange of that. This when it comes to Tantra Shastra, this prefix and suffix are very casually used to invoke certain ideas. For example, when we talk about Uchishta, the prefix Uchishta, what immediately comes to your mind is Uchishta Ganapati. Then for certain people who are very good in, Tarav and Shakta Tantras, they might talk about Uchishta Kandalaya or Uchishta Shamala. But when you look into Tantric text, we find a number of deities with who are given this Uchishta preface. Most probably to suggest that the mantras of with that Uchishta form are Lahu Siddhi Pratayaha. That can attain Siddhi very easily according to Tantra. We don't know. That might be the reason. Similarly, this Bhairava suffix is also used. In Nepal, there is the usage of Hanumat Bhairava, Bhima Bhairava, and here Bhairava means he is in a very, ferocious form. So that element also we have to keep in mind. We shouldn't confuse them with the Bhairava who belongs to the, retinue of Rudradeva. So this is it. With this, I finish. Thank you. I'm open for questions. So once again, I conclude with that sloha that praises Bhimasena.The.
Thank you, Abhishek and Nayar. I learned a lot today. Almost everything that you were covering after the brief introduction of significance of Bhimsena in Madhva tradition, almost everything was new to me. I learned all that through your talk. There is this wanted to know if there is any serious appropriate. Okay, that was about the previous talk, and there is a compliment from Dr. Vayan Rao about the whole symposium in general. Today's all symposia are very nice, informative. Congratulations to all presenters. Dr. Vayan Rao, Hyderabad, Telangana, India. So I don't see any further questions. Thank you very much, Nayarji. When this video gets uploaded, there will be a lot of learning, like it was to me, for many people. Many new things have come out of this talk with regard to the living traditions of Mahabharata. Cult of Bhima is not known to many people. Even to the Madhvas that I know, they know the significance of Bhima as an avatar of Mukhya Prana, as an avatar of Jivottama. Uh, but the cult of Bhima, the way you have covered, should be educating even for the Madhva youngsters. They will all definitely like your talk once it is uploaded. It will have a lot of enlightening effect. Shivshankar Babu. Yeah, please, Shivshankar.
A nice, a nice exposition on Bhimasena's unknown uh, cult. Another interesting aspect or characteristics of Bhima is his culinary skills. He is
Yeah,
compared
yeah,
along
yeah.
with Nala and other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
I,
there
I
any
wanted to.
Shastra or any write-up on
Yeah, I
this,
wanted
this
to
aspect?
include a slide on that, but due to this want of time, I removed it. Actually, when
Ah,
it comes to this cooking skills or culinary skills, we talk about Bhima Baha and Nala Baha.
ah,
So cooking
correct.
like Bhima, one is the style of Bhima and another is the style of Nala. So the
Hmm,
difference is that the Bhima Baga is for is like cooking for a marriage ceremony or cooking for thousands of guests or something like that. So
ah,
that is the specialty of Bhima Devara. And Nalabaga, the cooking is for what to say, very nuclear, two or three people, four people. So these are the
hmm.
differences, major differences between these two styles. And in
The
medieval
difference between cooking
India,
for home and cooking for
yeah,
a
exactly.
festival.
Public event is the difference between Bhima Baha and Nalabaha. Bhima is a
Okay.
large scale always. And in medieval India, there have been a lot of texts based on this culinary arts and cooking, which are named as Bhima Baha, and Bhima Samhita, and all those things. So that is yet another thing for which Bhimasena is, what to say, very vibrantly remembered among Hindus. Thank you for reminding me, sir. That was a very good thing. I couldn't include it to want of time.
So thank you again for Shivshankar Babu's wonderful uh, addition also. Now the symposium has come to a conclusion. Uh, Let us conclude the symposium with a Shanti mantra. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति